I find Zittrain to be one of the most effective speakers we have watched so far. He made a lot of good points that I thought were smart, and he had a lot of evidence supporting his claims. It helped that he had some funny anecdotes. I really do believe that the internet world reflects the physical world. In some class I learned about how in order for a society to work there must be norms and laws that everybody respects and follows, and honesty is pretty universal. You must have trust and honesty to have a community, and the internet is a community. Therefore, there must be trust and honesty, otherwise there would be mass chaos, and most people abide by this norm, but there are, of course, people who take advantage of this norm and abuse it because everybody else follows it. In the real world, people lie and cheat and steal, and on the internet, people hack and spread worms and viruses. And like was mentioned, most people will take something down of somebody if the person requests it, unless they're just being jerks. There, of course, are the exceptions like Star Wars Kid, but if cruel things like this were the norm of everybody, then the Star Wars Kid tragedy wouldn't be so controversial and widely talked about. The generativity versus the staticity, I don't know if that is a word, but the generativity versus the staticity thing that he was talking about is what enables people to do more and gain more out of the internet. But of course, this convenience and enjoyment is a trade-off with privacy and people taking advantage of your trust. But generally, people are aware of this trade-off. But if this trade-off becomes increasingly more imbalanced and people are having to compromise too much of their privacy and too many bad things are happening, then this is when the real trouble will start. And when this happens, what they refer to as the Internet's vision of 9/11 will probably occur. Hopefully, there will be something set in place before this happens and the government has to launch their secret Internet version of the Patriot Act they apparently already have in preparation, so that there is an option besides this act. Already, there are some sketchy practices in place like that OnStar thing monitoring you. And people always find ways to bend the law, like Zittrain was wondering how long it would be until people put pig carcasses on the HOV lane, and how long after that the government would even find an even more invasive solution to catch those people. If only everybody behaved, then there would be no reason for invasions of privacy, but of course that'll never happen. I agree with the internet founder at the end when he says that there will have to be some technological protection against the bad things happening on the internet in order for the openness to remain. Because if the government has to step in, then this is going to put some obstacles in the whole openness idea. In the real world, we have police and sheriffs and state troopers, FBI, and so forth. I think this is sort of reflected on the internet. Each platform kind of has their own policing system, the terms of service, I guess, the terms of service of MySpace provided the means to prosecute the mother who relentlessly manipulated a young girl, or like Facebook having control over its applications, and if there's a problem, it just cancels the app, or even Google making you aware that the site that you're trying to navigate to turned up in the engine as harmful, and so it won't provide a clickable link. It won't provide a clickable link, and it warns you about it. Maybe if they enforce the rules and police and policies, that could help. And people can find their own internet communities whose rules they believe in and that they can spend their online time in.